Get a free adjustable base upgrade at Mermaid Mattress.
Look at this good-looking boy that we have on the show with us this morning. Good to see you, Kevin. Talking about you, but this is Kevin Fuerst, as you know, with Fuerst Financial, and this is his dog, Tank. Kevin had his regularly scheduled visit with us this morning, and Tank had nowhere to go, so he's come along for the ride.
That's right.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Julie.
So sometimes Kevin will walk into my office, and I'll say, well, what do you want to focus on this morning? And something's kind of come to his mind on the car ride in. This one you have pre-planned, though. You have a lot going on in your head right now about oil, the cost of it, and how that's impacting all of our pocketbooks right now.
Yeah, it's and it's somewhat of a, I don't like to talk about politics, but sometimes they do move things. And so for me, my little mind and the way I think about things, oil changed 4 years ago. The price of oil changed, and the way where we get oil. And oil went from 20, 25 a barrel, and now it's 80 a barrel. And so I rarely hear anybody talk about it in this political season. They do some, but oil is involved in, I Googled it, and I think it's like 6,000 or 7,000 different items out there that require oil at one level or another. And so when you have the price of oil go up like it did, that's why we have inflation, if anybody wants to know where it's coming from and why it's like that. But I don't hear people talking about it. I mean, lumber went up. I mean, everything, it doesn't matter what you want to talk about. It went up in price, and we're having to pay for that because of the production now.
So a lot of people watching are probably like I am, not to put you in my category, but when I think about oil, I think about cost at the pump.
Yeah.
Gas prices have gone down a little bit, so that could be kind of like a panacea, because if the oil by barrel is still high, what you're saying is those inflationary costs are still there.
Yeah, and so gasoline at the pump, not diesel, but just regular gasoline, like your premium and regular gas, it makes up 45%. It uses 45% of all the oil that's produced in our country. So, and then we buy whatever we buy as well. So only 45% is at the pump. There's other things that oil is used for. I mean, the list goes on, and I don't even want to start listing because it's just.
You said even egg production.
Well, sure, because so you've got the cost
of the machinery.
We got the machinery. You've got the cost of the grain. So the grain has gone up because the farmer that's planting the grain has to pay more for fuel, has to pay more for oil in his machines, and so you have to increase the price of the egg because it costs more to get it to market. Now, I don't know if it's not inflated some and people take advantage of it. I can't figure that out. What I do know is when I went shopping prior to the inflation that we've had and the shutdown of oil in this country, where we had $20 a barrel, my groceries were $150, $200, per whenever we went. I went in not recently, it was $400.
Yeah.
And it's just my wife and I. It wasn't like we're buying a lot of stuff, but it was like $400.
Okay, so let me tie this in a little bit, if I can, then to a financial conversation that's not just your monthly budget bill, but investment. So the market, I mean, it was whoosh, and then it came back up a bit, had a great day not long ago, back down again. Is this A, still a good time to invest? And B, would you have to be careful what you say on the air, but is looking at things like oil a good idea for investment?
Oh, sure. I think it can be a part of the portfolio. It depends on the investor too, though. So you have to really, well, I don't know that I'd put, because we're at the verge of changing our political leader one way or another, who knows which way that's going to go. So and now we're playing blackjack and saying, okay, I'm gonna bet 50 that it goes up, and I'm betting 50 on the other hand that it goes down. So it's hard to tell which way it's going to go. As far as how do we overcome inflation, is theoretically you have to have some kind or some portion of your portfolio in stock. It is the thing that's going to help you overcome that inflation, because stocks typically go up and over time. And so that's how you beat inflation. I don't know that you ever beat it. And we're in a situation, I think, where I don't know that we've, prior to, you'd have to go back to 72, 70, maybe 78, when we saw inflation It was higher back then, but we're still
The
we're
gas
up there.
lines and everything that we had then. Okay, let me ask you this Kevin and I just jump all around like we're talking in one of our kitchens. Let me ask you this on the housing front for a minute. Because just money by its very nature is kind of theoretical. Like your $150 grocery bill 4 years ago is worth a third of what you're paying today. So it's kind of theoretical. Your investments are too. Theoretically, you've got this money, but anything can happen to it, and inflationary costs can make it valued.
Correct.
One of it. Housing. I know of a house that was on the market 2 years ago, back on the market now, $150,000 higher asking price in a 2-year period of time. So there are a lot of people who are currently homeowners, and they are thinking, well, wow, my home is at X value now. That's my savings. The value of my home is my savings. But not if somebody won't buy it.
Right.
So you've still got to be saving.
Yeah, you have to be saving.
That was a long-winded
Yeah, you
point.
can't get out of it. But the value of the house, I mean, housing goes up and down as well too. So it just depends on, we can look at, really it doesn't matter what we're looking at. Everything has gone up. Nobody's really talking about why it's gone up. They just use the word inflation. The other thing about inflation, it's not just it's not just 6 or 7% wherever it is right now. It is cumulative. So over the last 4 years, it's gone up 21%.
Yeah, right.
So people think, well, inflation is only 5% right now. No, it's not, because we have to add it to the last year,
Every year it's gone
last
up.
year was 5, and the year before it was 3, and the year before that it was 2. So there's your 15%, 20% inflation. That's why my groceries are, and I'm really here today just because I'm mad because my groceries are more. Other than that, I don't care about anything.
Preach it to us.
I'm just mad about my groceries. I mean, it just was a shock to me.
It's a shock.
I'm going to start going to the grocery store more. That's really what I'm talking about.
So, okay, I have a couple of minutes left.
Yeah.
But, Kevin and I always find a way, either on air or off air, we'll talk about my mom, okay, my 94-year-old mother. So we had a conversation yesterday, or 2 days ago, talking some financial stuff. And she is a woman at 94 who has plenty of money, but she will not part right now with an extra $300 a month to get somebody to come and help her with something, because she might need that money. That she's of the saving generation, so she's fine. If you are talking to a young person today who's also seeing those prices at the grocery store and all of it, and it's hard to find $10 to save, would you say still save it? Because the cumulative effect is there too.
Yeah, because no matter what, we still live above our means, and so you have to find a way to not do that. So, I mean, you have to find a way. So what did we do? What did I do when I was a kid? I can tell you what I did. I had multiple jobs until I found the career that I wanted to go in, until I got through school, till my wife got through school. I mean, I was told by a person one time, because we needed money, we were broke. And so I sympathize and can understand how people feel. But they said, well, you should have a yard sale, sell your couch. And I thought, okay, that made me a little angry. But you know what we did? We did just that. We call it our miracle yard sale. We didn't advertise, we just started taking stuff out of our house. And we got enough money to pay the bills at the time and moved forward. And I don't remember, we still had struggles along the way, but you just have to find a way. But you have to get rid of your debt, which is another thing the Fed's not talking about.
Okay, hold on.
Crazy.
You got to save that for next time, because little Alex over there is about to propel herself off the floor. Oh, sorry, Tank. We got to go. 899-8555. GrowKeepLeave.com is the website. You can talk about that yard sale and the miracle couch when you're in his office.
We'll do it.
Star Night returns with a concert by multi-platinum singer and songwriter Gavin DeGraw. Saturday, August 24th at the Chattanooga Convention Center, benefiting the children and families served at Siskin Children's Institute. Tickets